everybody out in the internet. In this video we are going to talk about the Big Finish audio drama series called The Diary of River Song. It is based on the character of River Song from the Matt Smith run as Doctor. Alex Kingston reprises her role as River Song, and there's a total of 8 box sets. And in the first, I want to say 5 box sets, she interacts with one of the classic each of the classic doctors from Tom Baker through Paul McGann. And she does it basically reverse order. She interacts with Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, Colin Baker, Peter Davidson, Tom Baker. There's a couple of them in which Colin Baker and Peter Davidson show back up again. In the latest, the 8th box set, David Tennant makes a brief cameo. I don't know if it would be considered a cameo in audio drama or not, but he does make an appearance as his doctor in the second story in the box set. Box sets usually run about $12 to $19. You can buy them directly from Big Finish, and the older ones are a little bit cheaper than the newer ones. I want to say right now the newest one is about $19. But I pre-order, so that's one of the reasons. I've pre-ordered all of them before they've come out, so by the time they come out I just download them and go. Like I said, I want to say the older ones are between 12 and 15, and the newer ones are like 19, maybe 20 at the most. And each box set has 4 one-hour episodes, which is really good. The first box set really hooked me. It was really good. River Song starts out in the 1930s at the height of England's digging in the pyramids area. Actually, it might be late 19th century now I think about it. The pyramids and Gaza, or not Gaza, in Africa, and all the excavation that they were doing and stuff. It's really well done. Needless to say, she survives because, well, we've got, more stories. It's really good. The stories all within a box set, all 4 stories can be listened to independently of each other, but they also tie into each other. If you want to listen to them in an episodic manner, or if you want to listen to them in a canonic manner, the stories are well written enough that they can stand alone individually, but they also reference each other and tie into each other as a linear progression of stories. And this continues from each of the box sets. Now, I'm not sure how if the box sets actually take place within the universe in the order that they've come out. I tend to say they do, but there are people that say they happen in different order, and it's all cool. I guess it's how you interpret the Doctor Who universe and the characters within it. I need to point out also that Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, and David Tennant all do the voice for the doctors they portrayed, which is amazing, especially for Tom Baker, because Tom Baker just turned 89 years old, and he's still doing, doing the Doctor Who stuff, still being the fourth Doctor. That's, to me, that's kind of cool, that he's able to do it even with a raging pandemic going on and things going crazy, that a man of his, advanced years, I guess, would still be, still interested, still doing it, still having fun doing it. And the fact that David Tennant got his start at Big Finish before going into live action acting, and that he has decided to come back and do voice acting for Big Finish is cool. Same with Alex Kingston, coming in, deciding to do, who actually, from what I understand in the interviews at the end of each story, that somebody wanted to do, that Big Finish wanted to do a River Song storyline, or have her, appear in one of the stories. And they approached Alex Kingston about it, and Alex Kingston had never done voice acting. So she was a little bit hesitant, and finally she got talked into it, and she did it. And enjoyed it immensely. Her daughter, her real life daughter, stars in the second box set as an android named Rachel, and revises, revisits, I guess, revisits. It's not the word I'm looking for. It's a reword, but I can't remember. Reprises, that's the word. Reprises the character of Rachel in the first two stories in the 8th box set so far. I haven't finished the 8th box set, and, well, I've got 2 more stories to finish, then I'll be done with that. But I'm not doing a review of the individual stories. As I said earlier in this video, I'm just kind of giving an overview. The sound effects are great. You're only limited to, basically what's great about the audio stories, or the audio dramas as they're called, is you're pretty much only limited by your imagination. What you know, what you've seen in Doctor Who, and how your brain translates that in while you're listening to it. It's kind of done in the style, it reminds me a lot of the old 30s, 20s and 30s radio programs that they had, like the Phantom and stuff like that, and some of the parodies that they've done in the Fallout games of radio dramas. And that just is just really cool. It just has that whole imagination, your whole imagination's going. Like I said, it is, if you enjoy listening to audiobooks, you'd probably like the audio dramas. And the fact that the actors that did the roles on TV are doing the roles in the dramas is really cool. Let me see, who else? What else is there? It does. Each box set gets better. The first box set was good. The second box set was better. The third was even better, and so on and so forth. It just, I think once Alex Kingston, Nicholas Briggs. Well, not Nicholas Briggs. He's been with Big Finish for since almost day one. But Alex Kingston, as she settled into doing River Song on a semi-regular basis and getting used to doing voice acting, her performances have gotten gradually stronger. There is a very marked difference in her performance in the first episode of the first box set and the first episode in the 8th box set so far. It's almost like day and night. And I think, my opinion, is as she becomes more and more comfortable with the voice acting, as I said previously, that it will become better. Her performances will get that much better. And though I do admit the first episode of the first box set is kind of slow in parts, and may take, if you're not a dedicated Doctor Who, or if you're not a dedicated River Song fan, it may take you a little bit to get into the first story of the first box set. But give it at least 2 of the stories. The second story starts to get more and more Doctor Who-ish real quick, and you get into the later stories, and you have the introduction of Paul McGann's Doctor, which is rather interesting the way they pull that off. Well, it's interesting how they pull off the different incarnates of the Doctor meeting River Song, and how the situation or the story has the convenience of their memories either lose their memories, or their memories get reset, or she just wipes their memories. And it's a varied enough they treat the trope very, it's different, and they treat it well, and yes, it is a trope, but at the same time they do it well, and just necessity facilitates that they have to have this trope in the episodes in which she's dealing with past incarnations of the Doctor. Then when we start getting into 6, 7, and 8, you start getting more and more River solo stories, well written. You've basically what they do with the first 4 box sets, maybe 5, is they wean you off Doctor Who, of River Song being a subordinate character to the Doctor, and they get you used to the idea that she's a strong character. She is not a Mary Sue. She's well written, especially if you've watched the Matt Smith run with Karen Gilliam as Amy Pond, and I can't think of the guy who played Rory, and Alex Kingston as River Song. That story arc, she's checked all the boxes to being a genuine strong female. So it's, it is worth, but like I said, getting past the first 2 stories in the first box set, that's, unless you are a dedicated River Song fan or Alex Kingston fan. I liked Alex Kingston as far back as when she was on ER. She played a doctor on ER, so we've got that going. like I said, the stories are well written. I'm getting to the point where I'm just kind of talking in circles now. But if you enjoy the Doctor Who universe, enjoy audiobooks, enjoy good radio programming, I think you'll like the anything the Big Finish does. Everything from Doctor Who to the Adventures, Blake 7. There's a lot of old school English BBC, television that they've converted into radio dramas. Space 1999, all kinds of stuff. So even if you're not a Doctor Who fan, the Big Finish may have something for you. But if you are a Doctor Who fan, I guarantee they have something for you. So now to get into some off-topic related stuff. I've kind of have a Green Lantern series of videos just kind of hanging in the wind, and I've got Utopia kind of hanging out in the wind. Once I can get to where I can sit and take the time to do them, I've got to do some refreshing on both of those subjects. I had things kick off that were beyond my control, and when things settled down, I came into different cameras, different editing software, playing with that, getting used to working with that, and all that good stuff. So as it stands right now, I am going to try and go back and finish off the Earth 1 Green Lantern, and finish the rest of the Earth 1 comics, then finish the Utopia, then probably come back and intermediately do Doctor Who. I may do some individual River Song reviews, may do some individual, there's a spin-off character created by Big Finish for Doctor Who named Vienna. You have Gallifrey. You have a whole series that takes place on Gallifrey. Probably do an overview at some point, do an overview, then go back and look at some of the individual episodes. So until next time, everyone take care. Peace.